The nurse looked at me gently and asked, "Should I call your family now?" I stared at the ceiling, listening to the machine beep beside me, and whispered, "He's busy celebrating." My son chose balloons, laughter, and a birthday cake, while I lay in a hospital bed, unsure if my heart would survive the night. That night, alone and broken, I made a decision that changed everything. Hospitals strip life down to the truth. No excuses, no comfort, just pain, fear, and silence. I lay there thinking about every sacrifice I made for my son. The nights I stayed awake when he was sick. The days I skipped meals so he could eat well. The years I worked overtime to give him a future. When the doctor said, "We need to monitor you closely," I wasn't afraid of dying. I was afraid of being forgotten. With shaking hands, I sent him a message. "I'm in the hospital. Please come." Minutes passed. Then an hour. The silence hurt more than my chest. Finally, his reply came. "Mom, it's Emily's birthday. We already planned everything. I'll come tomorrow." Tomorrow. As if life waits. As if parents are permanent. Part 3, A Nurse's Kindness. The nurse came back to check my vitals. "No visitors yet?" she asked softly. I shook my head. She squeezed my hand and said, "They'll come. Family always comes." I didn't have the heart to tell her the truth. He wasn't late. He chose not to come. That evening, my phone rang. Music played in the background. Laughter, celebration. "Hey, Mom," he said cheerfully. I closed my eyes and whispered, "I'm scared." There was a pause. "You'll be fine," he replied quickly. "Doctors know what they're doing. I'll come tomorrow." Fine. That word stayed with me long after the call ended. In that moment, I realized something painful. I was no longer a priority. I was an afterthought. That night, sleep refused to come. I remembered his first school day, when he cried and held my hand. I remembered promising him I'd always be there after his father died. I remembered buying that house with years of sacrifice. That house wasn't just property. It was my life. And suddenly I understood. He valued what I could give him, not who I was. At 2:17 a.m., under dim hospital lights, I opened my laptop. I emailed my real estate agent. "List the house immediately. Cash buyers only. Sell fast." My hands shook. Not from fear. From clarity. When I pressed send, something inside me broke free. The begging ended. The next morning, my son finally arrived. Balloons in his hands. A smile on his face. "Sorry I couldn't come last night," he said. Emily's birthday meant a lot to her. I nodded politely, but my heart had changed. Love should never have to wait. 2 days later, my phone exploded with calls. "Mom," he shouted. "Why is the house listed?" "Realtors are calling me." "I sold it," I said calmly. Silence. "You promised that house to us." "I promised love," I replied. "Not inheritance for neglect." He came over furious. "You did this to punish me," he yelled. I looked at him and said quietly, "No, I did this because I learned something in that hospital bed." I told him about the nurse, the silence, the fear. His anger faded. Guilt replaced it. "I won't compete with a birthday cake for my own child," I said. "I won't beg to matter. The money secured my future. Medical care, peace, independence. Justice doesn't always scream. Sometimes it walks away silently." Weeks later, he returned alone. "I forgot you," he said through tears. "I forgot who never forgot me." I listened. Forgiveness takes time. Self-respect doesn't. Weeks later, my son came to see me. He stood at the door alone. No wife, no smile. Just guilt written across his face. "Mom," he said quietly, "I failed you." I didn't interrupt him. "I was celebrating while you were fighting for your life," he continued. That truth has been haunting me. Tears fell from his eyes, but I stayed silent, because apologies sound different after betrayal. "You know what hurt the most?" I finally said. "It wasn't that you didn't come." He looked up. "It was knowing that if I had died that night, you would have remembered me between birthday photos." He broke down. "I thought there would always be time," he whispered. "Children think parents are permanent," I replied. "But parents grow old waiting to be remembered." He hesitated, then asked, "Can the house be undone?" I shook my head slowly. The house was never about money, I said. It was about dignity. Selling it was me choosing survival over sentiment. He nodded, ashamed. I'm not cutting you off, I told him. But I will never beg again. If I matter, you'll show it without reminders. Justice didn't come with shouting. It came with boundaries. Today I live with less space but more peace. I no longer wait for calls that don't come. And my son learned a truth too late. A parent's love is endless, but access to that love must be earned.